Hello Milky friends, it is MelkStehul here with you for another Idle Heroes video. For those of you new to my channel, welcome. My name is MelkStehul and my specialty in Idle Heroes is I do next level value analysis. Much more simpler than what you might see on Reddit, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in Idle Heroes land that does value analysis, where I convert everything to gems and then tell you what it's worth on a dollars per gem basis. And by converting everything to gems and converting it to dollar value, I've been able to, I guess, tell you what to buy or advise you on what to buy and advise you on what not to buy. So for the Chinese New Year event, when I did the calcs, one of these events just shattered stupid value, as in, oh my gosh, why haven't people realized that they should be dumping all their attention into this one particular shop? So in this video, we're going to go over the things that you can buy. So very quickly, there's this fireworks stuff, and there's I haven't done the analysis on this, I'll be upfront, right? The reason being, it's because it's not a linear relationship. See how it goes from 100 to 1,000, but the steps are like the first 100, and then it goes 150, 200, 300, 250, 300, etc. That implies that the value that you get from each incremental stage is worth it. And I don't think that's the case. So it's a question of, firstly, this goes for 2 weeks. So I don't actually know if you're going to get enough fireworks to be able to get 2,000 fireworks and then light off both Penny and Carrie's fireworks, right? Because if that's the case, then this value analysis that I'm going to do is redundant. But then the assumption that fireworks aren't going to be quick and hard and fast to come by, right? Then the question is, well, do I just go all 1,000 on one side, or do I go 100, 100? Do I go just, 450 and up to 450 on either side and leave it at that because that's the best way to get resources? I don't know. I still need to do that analysis to work out what's the optimal path to spending your fireworks. Because if you look at the last price, 1,000 fireworks you have to have lit off, right? That jump from 700 to 1,000, that's 300. The 300 fireworks, is it really worth 10 feathers, 7 scrolls, and a light dark shard? I don't know. I seriously doubt it is, right? Especially when you consider, say, the 250 to 450 jump, 200. I would argue that's worth just as much because you're getting food as well, right? So I need to work out what the optimal path is, but that's one thing you can spend stuff on in the Chinese New Year event. The other place you can spend stuff on is obviously the invitations, or what they call Sleepless Eve. And so I've already done all mine. If you do all the events here, I think you can get 290 is the maximum. So if you do every single event, you can get basically 290 of these blessings. And that's enough to basically invite, because each one of these is 55. I think each, because I've done it, I don't actually know how much it's cost now. I think each one of these is 55, and then a light dark invitation is 110. Anyway, doing the event gets you a certain amount of free blessings. Then you can also buy these in the store as well from the value packages. So I'm sure everyone else has worked out what this is worth, but yeah, just do as much as you can, and then it's a question of, should you spend to get all the artifacts and all the heroes that you get from doing each of the invites, apart from the copy that you get? Don't know. What we're primarily here to do in this video is talk about these stores from which you can purchase things. And so you can see I've already purchased a lot of things, but I plan to purchase more. And I'm going to go over the value for each of these stores. And then I'm also going to talk about the things that you can actually buy for hard currency. And so you see I've already bought a couple of things. So without further ado, let's get into the video, right? So the crux of the video. So let's talk about each of these stores. The first store I want to start with, and for most of you that might not have done the calc, the gold store, you should like literally buy every fucking thing in the store. I've done the value on everything here, and I've converted the gold to gems, and the value is just phenomenal. Sell your mothers, sell your kidney, sell everything, like literally sell everything and buy every fucking thing in the store. So here's the math, right? So in you're probably asking, well, MelkStehul, how did you convert gold to gems? Like, you can't really buy gold. No, that's not technically true. You can buy gold every day from the hand of Midas, right? Or every 8 hours, and that's what I'm doing now. Gold here is when you buy gold here and you convert it using this conversion factor, all the stuff in the gold shop comes out at a phenomenally cheap price. I don't know if you can get gold for any cheaper than this. So it's basically 20 million gems for about 1.2 million gold, right? And so I'm buying it every 8 hours now, like just religiously. And so if you look at the math, it's basically saying you can buy every 8 hours 4 million gold for 70 gems. And that's the conversion factor, 4 million gold for 70 gems. So then when you look at all the shit that you can buy in this store, in this gold store, right? Literally puppets for 50 million gold, promotion stone for 10 million gold, pink dust for 15 million gold. When you convert all these dollar amounts, these gold amounts, to gems using the hand of Midas conversion factor, this is the implied gem cost of 6-star dummy, right? 794 gems. The market value for a 6 stars, or just the 6-star dummy. So if you went away and just created a 6-star dummy, right, you would need 6 5-star heroes. And if you assume each 5-star hero costs 400 gems, then one of these dummies theoretically is worth 2,400 gems, excluding promotion stone, spirit, and gold, and the value of those, right? And that's the cheapest you can ever build a 6-star hero. And the 400 gem cost per 5-star hero assumes that you've built that hero using event raid smashes every day, right? So when I did the math, the 6-star dummy, 50 million gold might sound like a lot, but if you're buying all your gold from the hand of Midas, the implied gem cost is only 794 gems for that one 6-star dummy, right? 784 gems for that one 6-star dummy. Now, they're selling that equivalent 6-star dummy in the gem store for 3,500 gems, and even that's still a good deal. But here, that's why they limited it to 1. I couldn't work out why they limited it to 1. It's because when you converted it, right, it's just stupid value. So sell everything, literally sell everything you can to buy every single dummy here. And so you're probably asking, well, MelkStehul, fuck, how do I get gold? I've already stupidly upgraded. If I knew how good value that store was, I would not have wasted all my gold on carry to upgrade it to level 310. I would have just waited, because gold, it replenishes itself over time. So if you haven't upgraded any heroes and you've got a lot of gold left because you're just waiting for people to tell you how good carry is, don't. Just buy everything in the gold store, right? The other place you can get gold, as someone that you put out on Reddit, is to basically dismantle all of these totems or thingamabobs that aren't related to gold, that aren't related to pink dust or gems. And that's not related to the flower, and that's not this one, this tree that increases output by 40%. Dismantle everything else. You're going to get the gold back. The other thing that you can get gold, or another place where you can get gold, is in your bag, right? So if you have like old currency from campaigns, you can actually sell those for gold, right? So sell all of those. I keep one of those around just for memento's sake for each of the different campaigns, but sell all of them. Then the Chun stickers from last week's Chinese New Year, if you haven't sold that shit, sell it. It's 8 million per Chun sticker, right? And so those are the big sources of gold. The other thing that people don't realize, and what you can sell gold are the artifacts, right? And I'm specifically talking about these green artifacts, which you cannot fuse, right? So a lot of people don't realize that you can sell them, or you might have forgotten about them, right? So like these green artifacts all the way down here, I'm talking about, look, see, I can't, the one that I had a lot of, these green ones, right? It's going to cost you a fuck ton of money to forge these all the way up. And so I forgot I had these. And so I would just go ahead and sell all these little fuckers. See, like, doesn't get you much, right? But for some of these, like, for example, look, I have 1,000 of these fucking swords, right? So I can sell this for, 2 million gold. So if you do all that, sell the green, the purple, and this blue stuff, this useless artifact that you get at the very start of the game, that should get you to about 10 million, I reckon, right? I'm going to go away and do these after the video, but look, there you go. That's like 40,000. Even these fucking 2-star red ones, how much is that worth? 870,000. all the low-level artifacts that you probably will never ever need, and it's going to cost you a fuck ton of money to fuse. Just sell all of it. Literally sell all of it. So that's going to get you more gold. But like I said, the primary source of gold, I think, after you've sold everything you can, is probably going to be this, right? You're probably going to think about, you're going to be thinking about buying it from the Hana miners. Hana miners is, if you've got the gems, it's phenomenal value. So that's the first big takeaway. It's buy literally everything from the gold store. And I think it's going to cost me another 275 mil to take out, just literally buy all the monster bit, the pink dust, and the purple stone. For, if you're wondering about the promotion stone, each 10,000 promotion stone costs 10 million gold. Or if you're buying gold from the Hana miners, it's basically saying for the 10,000 promotion stones, it's going to cost you 159 gems. Now, if you were to buy the same 10,000 promotion stones from the marketplace, which is here, which you can actually buy for gems, right? And I buy it every day because I need the promotion stone. It's going to cost you 270 gems for 2,000 stones only. So to buy equivalent 10,000 promotion stones in the marketplace for gems, it's going to cost you 1,350 gems. Whereas if you just bought gold from using gems from the Hana miners, it's only going to cost you 159. Bottom line, and similarly for pink dust, same story. Phenomenal deal. Phenomenal deal. Bottom line is, if you haven't worked it out by now, you need to buy everything in this gold store. This value was never going to repeat it. They fucked up the math. They completely cocked up the math. And I'm telling you guys now, because I've done the math, buy everything here. Then now let's go to the Relic store. The Relic store, it's 400 feathers per artifact. And that's a complete fucking ripoff. Like, everyone that has universal knowledge in Reddit that this is a ripoff, even I can see it's a ripoff now. But I actually have numbers to prove that it's a ripoff, right? So in this shop, they're saying each artifact is worth 400 feathers. So then you're probably asking, well, how much is that equivalent gem terms, right? Just to give you some perspective, using, if you're a loyal follower of this channel, you would have known that during the campaign events where they give you a specific currency and it drops and you can buy like either artifacts or top tier heroes or scrolls, that happened from week to week. I think the last one was that Gears event, right? Those events actually give you a basis from which to convert things to currency, well, things to gems that you might not be able to convert. So for example, a heroic scroll, if we use that as the anchor value, right? We say, look, each heroic scroll is worth 125 gems, and it's going to cost you 100 of that week's campaign currency to get you one scroll. Then that gives you that conversion factor of one currency to 1.25 gems, right? Fair. And using that conversion factor, you can basically convert all the other items you can buy in that during that week. You can also calculate the implied price per feather. And so I've been able to calculate it out at about 50 gems per feather. I think a feather is worth about 50 gems, right? So on that basis, they're basically saying for each artifact this week, it's going to cost you 20,000 gems. For comparison purposes, during campaign week, the most that the same artifact will cost you is 4,500 gems, right? So during campaign week, on a gems equivalent basis, these artifacts only cost you 4,500 gems, or only worth 4,500 gems. Here, this week with this particular shop, they're charging you 4 times that, 19,375 gems for one of these artifacts. Complete ripoff. Just avoid. Then if you go to the gem store, if I had enough gems, I would literally buy everything here as well. And for those of you that probably look at the hard currency and say, oh, look, 38,000 gems for one 10-star hero. Dude, that's how much it actually costs real life in the game, right? If you haven't actually sort of clued in on the fact that food is expensive. Food is expensive. At the end of the day, how do you think you actually get food, right? You basically either smashing event raid for gems or for free, which is fine, and in which case it's going to take you forever, or you're smashing Seal Land. Again, you get 5 free smashes a day. If you're doing a free-to-play player, it's gonna take you time. But if you're the kind of player that spends gems, so my video, if you're a free-to-play player, don't watch any of my videos. But if you're spending like money or you're spending gems, this is the best source of food in the game, literally, outside of Event Raid and Seal Land. And again, I've converted all these gems. Well, let's talk through the math, right? So you can get 6-star dummies. You can get 6-star dummies of the light dark faction, and non-light dark heroes. The light dark stuff costs more. It's going to cost you 5,000 diamonds per 6-star light dark dummy, and then 3,500 per non-light dark 6-star dummy. And then 9-star dummy is going to cost you 16,500 gems, all the way up to 10-star, which is 38,000 gems. And so you're going to get sticker shock, right? So for most people, when they look at a big number, they're like, oh, fuck, that's a lot of money. That's why, like, on like those advertorial late night channels that sell you stuff that you don't need, like the exercise equipment and the knives, they always break that down. Why? Because the people that go on those kinds of, that buy that kind of shit at night can't actually afford a one lump sum value, but they can afford many small payments. And that's how they live their life. When someone lives their life from paycheck to paycheck, they always, look at the dollars and cents going out each and every month each and every month. And that's basically how they build their budget, on like a week-to-week, paycheck-to-paycheck budget. And that's why those small amounts, that's why they break down those big numbers into small numbers. So then those people can budget. But the people that really are truly rich look at value from a totality perspective, like what I'm doing, right? Okay, yes, it's 38,000 gems, but what is it on a cost per 5-star basis, right? And how does that stack up relative to everywhere else you can buy 5-star heroes for gems, right? So I've done that. So if you look at the dummies and you convert it to basically how much 5-star copies it takes to make a 6-star, 9-star, or 10-star dummy, and then you divide it by the number of diamonds needed, you get the cost per 5-star hero, the implied cost per 5-star hero. So for 6-star dummies, it's going to cost you each 5-star hero is worth 583 gems, all the way up to 833 for the light dark. But then if you stick with just non-light dark, a 10-star dummy is if you buy that, basically each 5-star hero there is going to cost you 594 gems. Now, that might sound intuitively expensive, but let's compare it to the other sources of 5-star heroes. So in event rate every day, you can smash that, right? And assuming you smash the maximum number of times, then the cost per 5-star hero is 400 gems from event rate. And at CLN 17, it's also 400 gems per 5-star hero, assuming you buy incremental smashes, the first 3 incremental smashes only, right? I'm not talking about the next 3, because in CLN, if you haven't worked out by now, the cost of the smashes goes up in multiples of 3. So if the first 3 is going to cost you 100, I think the next 3 is going to cost you 200, and then so on and so forth. So CLN, these gem costs per 5-star food I'm quoting are for the first 3 smashes. So in CLN 20, after the first 5 smashes you get for free, if you buy the next 3 smashes, right, then the food will cost you, each 5-star hero will cost you 320 gems. And that's the cheapest place you can get 5-star heroes in this game, if you're going to spend, right? If you're going to spend gems, excluding the free smashes. Then, if you look at orbs and scrolls, which are other sources of food, right? A lot of people say, well, you orb for food. If you do the expected value, the math, right? And if you assume each orb is worth 450 gems, then if you calculate what you get exactly, and I've done it in a very early video where I calculated the cost of food, the chance of getting a 3, 4, or 5-star, and then converted that basically to a cost per 5-star hero. So I did that very early on, and I'll leave a link to the video below if you want to watch that over video. But effectively, from orbs, each 5-star food hero costs you 1,000 gems. So when you look at that number, oh, and for comparison purposes, it's twice as much for scrolls. Scrolls is the worst way to get food. It's going to cost you 2,200 gems per 5-star hero, assuming a scroll cost of 125 gems per scroll. So when you look at some of these numbers, orbs, scrolls, all of a sudden, the cost per 5-star food for each of these dummies doesn't seem so bad. Especially if you're using orb to get food. If you're using orbs, if you're buying orbs every day from the marketplace to get food, I would say stop buying orbs for the time being, save up as much as you can, and then buy the 6-star dummies. And if you have enough, I guess, saving power, or if you have enough gems, buy these other ones, right? Just buy as much from, stop buying orbs, stop buying scrolls for the time being, and just buy these dummies. Especially if you're constrained by food in this game like I am, right? I have enough copies of everything that I want to build. So if you look at my bag, or if you just look at just the heroes I have, look at how many Garudas and Oberons I have. I don't have enough food, right? And if you look at Unimax, I have enough copies of Unimax to get him to like 10 star. There's more in my bag, not enough food. I have enough copies of Penny to E5 her, not enough food. I want to build Gustin, not enough food. I want to E3 my Horus, not enough. No, sorry, E5 my Horus, not enough food. So, bottom line, I would buy these dummies for gems if you whatever you can spare, just buy it. So in order of spending on in the shop, in the special shop, I would buy gold every 8 hours from the Hand of Minus and just literally buy every fucking thing in the gold store. Literally everything. Just clear out the shelves. Then if you have any gems left, buy stuff from the gem store. This Relic store you can just completely ignore and forget. No one's going to buy shit from this. Like, this is just stupid value. I don't know anyone stupid enough to trade 400 feathers. Even at 300 feathers. This is theoretically only worth 100 feathers. If you like follow the math that I've done, right? Each one of these artifacts is only worth 100 feathers. And that's how much it costs in the actual store, just to be clear, right? Even though they're like shitty artifacts. But based on the campaign conversion factors that I've done, it's just not there. I don't know why they did that. It's just silly. I know a lot of people complain about it, but they've gone. They fucked off for Chinese New Year. They're not going to change shit. Now let's talk about the Fortune package, the Lucky package, and the Joy package, as well as very quickly the Value package, which I always talk about every single week. So I've done the math on those. So for the Fortune package, it's going to cost you $50. The Lucky package is going to cost you $20, and the Joy package is going to cost you $5. You can get gems, scrolls, and blessings for each one of those things, as well as the Fortune package. You're going to get a nice skin. A skin I valued at 1,875 gems, which is probably worth more than that. It's hard to value skins because I haven't found a convenient way to convert like event limited skins. The Lucky package is also going to get you a 5-star hero or a 5-star shard. I think it's an elite light dark hero shard. That's food. I'm going to say that's worth 1,000 gems, even though it's not really. It's probably worth 400 gems. And the Joy package, you're also going to get food as well. That's worth 400 gems. But in the interest of converting everything at the same price, I've valued it at 1,000 gems. Each 5-star hero at 1,000 gems. Because in Aspen Dungeon, you can buy a 5-star hero for 1,000 gems right now. So that's the market price. And so when you convert the Fortune, Luck, Joy package into the total equivalent gems using these conversion factors. So I've converted all the scrolls at 125 gems per scroll, and the gems are obviously converting at 1 for 1. Then for the Fortune package, you're basically getting around 10,625 gems. The Luck package, you're getting 5,166 gems, so on. And so then the dollars per gem, when you do up the math, says Fortune pack, Lucky pack, complete fucking ripoff. Joy pack, that's the only one you should actually buy, right? And so, relatively speaking, if you follow my channel, you'll see that I have a historical record of all the fucking things that you can buy from like going back a number of weeks, all the way to like late autumn package into Halloween, where I've done a similar thing where I've converted everything you can buy to the equivalent gems, and then done the dollars per gem. So here we're saying, 0.47 cents per gem, 0.39 cents per gem for the Fortune and Lucky package. And we compare that to everything else that you could have bought in the past. That's terrible value. The best value deals are somewhere between 0.25 and I guess anything lower than 0.25 cents per gem. Because in a usual week, like for example, if you're just buying the scrolls this week, it's going to cost you 0.5 of a cent per gem, right? These sort of non-scroll, non-orbs, non-wishing coin type packages that you can buy, I typically expect them, if you look historically speaking, they're around 0.25 of a cent per gem best value. Some weeks are terrible, like Halloween Pack 2 was shit, the Winter Pack was shit as well at 0.4% per gem. But yeah, the Fortune Pack and the Lucky Pack, super expensive, relatively speaking, compared to packs in the past. Much better value than the packs that are being sold in the event shop. So if you're thinking about buying either the value pack or one of these lucky packages or fortune packages, then absolutely buy the fortune pack and the lucky pack. If you're a cheapskate like me, absolutely buy the joy pack. But depending on what you need, scrolls or blessings, I would consider the fortune lucky pack first, because on a dollars per gem basis, it's much better value compared with the actual scrolls pack from this week. Because the value there is like it just costs a lot more per gem. And so caveat, I haven't converted the blessings to gems because I don't know how much they're worth. But if you do it on a dollars per item basis, right? Blessings cost $2 per blessing for the scrolls value packs. But then for each of these fortune, lucky, or joy packs, you can see the cost per item here. It's nearly half the price with the fortune pack. So if you need just blessings, specifically blessings, buy the fortune pack, buy the lucky pack, buy the joy pack first before you even consider buying one of these other packs, right? And even the scrolls, well, the scrolls are more expensive compared to... So if you need scrolls, then you're probably better off buying one of the value packs, all right? Anything except the $10 one, because they're selling them for $1 each, basically, with the 3 packs that you can buy compared to the value packs here. Then, in terms of gems, what's the cost per gem? Definitely buy... If you need gems, definitely buy the joy pack and the lucky pack. Don't buy the value packs. Anyway, the math is here. Just freeze it and then just look at the numbers. Again, I haven't converted the value of the blessings. I've assumed they're all 0, so it's like for like. But yeah, the last thing I need to talk about is probably the New Year growth plan. So if you do your daily requests every day, you're gonna be able to get points. And this goes over 30 days. See how it ends in 693 hours? This goes over 30 days. You're going to be able to get enough points to basically get everything. And if you haven't worked out by now, they're asking for $30, right? To give you a 9-star Sigmund. That's what you get. 9-star Sigmund, 10,000 gems, and 50 feathers. This is just an absolute must buy. So if you're going to spend money during this event and you only want to buy one thing, literally this is it. This is better value than the VIP monthly card, put it that way, right? So when I've done the math, when I've converted the Chinese New Year growth plan to basically what's it worth in terms of gem, you're going to get about 40,000 gems back. And if you convert that, depending on what conversion factor you use, right? Do you convert the food at 400 gems or do you convert the food at 1,000 gems per 5-star food? So if you convert it at 0.7 of, bear with me. So if you convert it at basically 1,000, how many decimal places? Sorry, technical issue with the math right now. Yes, okay. So if you convert it basically at 1,000, each 5-star food at 1,000 gems per food, it's basically 0.07 cents per gem. And when you compare that with a VIP monthly card, the VIP monthly card, each gem costs you 0.1 of a cent per gem, right? 0.1 of a cent compared to, and we're talking here 0.07 cents. That's even lower. That's basically half the price of a VIP monthly card. The Chinese New Year growth plan, if I could buy like 50 of those, literally I would buy 50 of those, but they're only going to give you one. And if you convert it, there's some funny math going on. Okay, that's why. But then if you then convert the the Chinese New Year growth plan at basically, If you're saying each 5-star food is worth only 400 gems, then the math changes, right? Then it's a bit more expensive. Then it costs basically 0.13 of a cent per gem on that conversion factor. So a lot of my conversion, when it involves food, there's two trains of thought as to how much food is really worth, right? It's either worth 400 gems, which is the cheapest place you can get it for most people, which is from the event raid, right? Or do you convert 1,000, which is the cheapest place you can get it, like literally, from the Aspen dungeon as opposed to event raid. The real answer is probably somewhere in between, but I'm giving you ranges. But be that as it may, if you converted each food for the Chinese New Year growth plan at 400 gems per 5-star hero, then the math comes out at 0.13 of a cent per gem, which is then equivalent to the VIP monthly card. Bottom line is, you should buy the growth plan. It's just crazy value. Anyway, that's the video. I know it was a kind of long. Again, for most people, because a lot of you are new, I have to work with the lowest common denominator. And for a lot of my long-time viewers, I hope you found that gold shop insight particularly useful. I was just floored when I did the math and I realized how cheap everything was when you converted it, especially when you bought gold from the Hand of Midas. Like, most people don't buy gold from the Hand of Midas because gold's kind of like, it just refills itself. But in a shortage where you're pinched and you actually really do need the gold, oh my god, it's great value. Anyway, that's the video. Hope you found that useful. Leave a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend ahead.